I just read 1 Samuel chapter 1 and I'm just sitting here asking myself, what drives a woman to make a promise so desperate that she's willing to give away the very thing she's been praying for years? You know, Hannah's story in 1 Samuel chapter 1 reveals one of the most powerful examples of faith under pressure in the entire Bible. Her situation was so painful that she couldn't even eat, but the response she gave to the situation would cause the change of Israel's history forever. And I want us to talk about that today. I want us to talk about Hannah's incredible journey from barrenness to breakthrough. Anyway, welcome back to UTAC under the audience of Christ. I'm Ruth Cheqona and I'm your host for today. And today's episode is personal and deeply spiritual. People of God, have you ever prayed a prayer that didn't sound right to any other person around you, but heaven understood it very, very perfectly? Let me tell you the story of Hannah. There was a man named Elkanah from the hill country of Ephraim, a faithful, God-fearing man. He had 2 wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Peninnah had children though, but Hannah had none. But the reality of her not having children weighed heavily on her soul. Year after year, Elkanah took his family to Shiloh, where the tabernacle of the Lord stood, to worship and offer sacrifices. Elkanah would always give portions of the sacrifice to Peninnah and her children. But to Hannah, he gave a double portion because he truly loved her, even though the Lord had closed her womb. But Peninnah, who was her co-wife, made it so worse. She would taunt Hannah relentlessly, mocking her barrenness, provoking her to tears, making her feel less of herself. Every year it was the same. And though Elkanah loved her dearly, her pain ran deeper than love could reach. She wept. She couldn't even eat. But one fateful year, after they had eaten and drunk in Shiloh as usual, Hannah arose and went to the tabernacle. She couldn't take the mockery and shame no more. She was deeply distressed. She poured out her soul to God that very day. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Right there on Hannah's knee, she made a vow. "O Lord of hosts, if you will look upon the affliction of your servant and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall touch his head." This was a serious vow Hannah made on her knees that day. As she prayed though, the priest Eli saw her and misunderstood. Actually, he thought she was drunk and he rebuked her. But this was Hannah's response. I love this woman. She said, "I'm not drunk. I'm pouring out my soul before the Lord." Then Eli answered her with compassion, saying,
"Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant your request."
Powerful. Hannah wiped her tears, but something has shifted after her prayer. She went back to her family, but this time around her face no longer looked downcast. The weight on her shoulder completely lifted up. Soon after, God remembered Hannah. Just like God is remembering the cry of someone listening to me today, she conceived and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel because she asked the Lord for him. And true to her word, once Samuel was weaned, she brought him back to Shiloh and gave him to the Lord, entrusting the very thing she longed for back to the one who gave it. Let's pause here for a moment. Have you ever prayed with tears in your eyes? You're just drenched in your tears. Your voice is gone. In fact, words are failing. Yet, everywhere is silent. And you're there wondering, God, I'm right here. Do you see me? That was Hannah. Many of us are in places like this. Environments that mock our prayers. People that rub in the lack. We look around and think, God, you bless others, Why not me? But listen, when the womb is closed, it doesn't mean heaven is closed. Sometimes heaven waits, heaven watches, heaven listens. Not to your loudest cry though, but your deepest one. Let's back up a bit to Hannah again. Year after year, she went to Shiloh. Stay with me. She would cry, she wouldn't eat. But one year, one particular year, Hannah shifted her focus to the one who could lift this weight off her shoulders. She took a posture of a prophetess who midwifed the pushing out of her son. She didn't cry to her husband no more. She pushed the insults and torments Peninnah had given her for years. She went straight to the God that gives. She prayed in bitterness of soul. She agonized on her knees. No pretense, no filtered prayer, just raw heart-to-heart prayers to God. And there she made a vow. If you give me a son, I will give him back to you. My God, what a powerful vow. You see, when your pain pushes you into covenant, you activate another realm in the spirit. Heaven responds to surrendered desperation. Did you notice even Eli the priest didn't even understand her? He thought she was drunk. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. People won't always understand your worship. They won't understand the tears. But don't stop praying though because of how it looks. Pray because of what the prayer is about to birth. You see, she conceived Samuel, the prophet, the one who would anoint kings. Her womb was once closed, remember this, but heaven was always open. Let me tell you something. Sometimes the delay is divine because the child you're praying for is not just a baby. Oh, the job you are praying for is not just a job. The breakthrough you are praying for is not just a breakthrough. It is a movement. It is revival. It is a kingdom key. People of God, let's reflect a moment. Are you interpreting delay as denial? Are you pouring out your soul or performing religion? Are you willing to give back what you've prayed so long to receive? Because when God gives, it's not just for you, it's for kingdom legacy. My people, as we close this episode, I want to pray over everyone listening who is waiting for the job, waiting for the child, the peace, the clarity. Heaven sees you. Heaven hears you. And when heaven opens, it won't just meet your need. It will exceed it for generations to come. If you are still listening to me, that means this episode is speaking to you. Please share this episode to someone because you will never know what season of life they are in. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and Spotify. Join me also on Instagram. I am Ruth Cheqona. And let's keep growing under the audience of Christ, where God's voice is louder than the crowd.